Good morning, folks. In this session, we will show you how to do a quick setup for your business. At the time of registration, you received a 4-letter or PIN that you can use to log in into your account. Once you logged in, quick setup or business setup is a simple 4-step process, and it's quite self-explanatory. As you can see, this is a step 1, and all you have to do is keep providing the information that is required. So since we registered the Cafe O as a business name, a lot of the information has already been populated for your convenience. So Cafe O is the name of my business, and the brand that we use is Olay. If you have a website URL, you can add it here, but if you do not, that's not necessary. You can just leave it blank. If you want to provide some description, sure, you can do that. Now another last point here is to type in the business type. You just tap on the business type and select the vertical that's most suitable for your type of business. Since we are a cafe that we're setting up, I believe the restaurant is the most suitable vertical that I can pick. Second option that you have, you can tag your business. So you can select with the pre-existing tags, bar or lounge, but if they're not suitable, you can also create a tag. So what I'm going to do, create a new tag called cafe and attach this tag to my business. So as you see that I checked it out, you just tap on it to select it and tap on this tag button to go back. And then again you tap on the business type to go back, and you can see the step 1 has already been completed. Now we move to the step 2, which is to press on the next. Now in the step 2, there's some preferences of the businesses you have to provide. Again, you see that a lot of that information has been pre-populated, and this information has been loaded based off the information that you provided at the time of registration. So let's go over it quickly. Round total bill amount. Now this is, if you tap on this, there are 4 options that have been provided to you. So some businesses like to round off their bill. So for example, if it's 99 cents, you just want to round it off to a dollar. Or if it's let's say 1.05, you want to round it down to $1. So if you want to apply those kind of preferences, you can select them here. But if you do not want to round off the dollar amount, you can always see do not round, and it will display the actual amount and produce the bills in the exact amount that has been calculated by the system. Second option is currency. So it has already been selected the dollars for us, US dollars. As my business is located in Washington, D.C., this seems like the most appropriate currency, and the system is smart enough to apply that based on location if you're in the country of your business. But for some reason, if you want to change this currency, just tap onto the currency button, and what it does, it opens up all the currency that are available in the world, and you can go and select the most appropriate currency by just tapping on that. So for us, USD is the right currency, and if that's you're happy with that, just press on the currency button, back button, and you're back to the original screen. The next is the starting bill number. What that is, that since you're setting a new business, by default it's going to start the bill number or invoice number from 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on as you generate the bills. But let's say you have some preference to start your billing from 100 or something, or some reason you want to number them like 01 or something like that, you can always select it. So what we'll do here, we can provide the prefix like say O, that's the prefix for my business I would like, and I'm just going to keep it 1. You can do that. So now all the invoice numbers will be number 01, 02, and or 01, 02, like that will show up on my invoice. The next thing is the time zone, and we are on the East time zone, East Coast time zone based on location, so that's fine. But again, you can pick the most appropriate time zone. Just tap on that time zone, and system will start using that as the time zone of your business. I would like to make a point that this is an important piece of information because based on your time zone, system will show what time the actual sales has happened. So let's say a sale has happened 4 o'clock on East Coast, but if you set up another business on West Coast, the time is very different on West Coast. So it's very important to pick the right time zone so the invoice that you generate will show the exact time where the sale happened. It's also important for the closing time or the business hours of your operation, which we'll discuss in the next one. Because in Arista, what happens is that daily closing time drives when your system will start generating sales reports and starts emailing it to you. So system recognize what the close time is based on the time that you define, the time zone. So it knows if it's 4 o'clock and you close your business 8 o'clock. The minute the 8 o'clock happens, it's going to start generating the reports and start emailing to you automatically. So I would recommend that you pick the time zone appropriately. The fourth option is the business hours, and tap on it. So by default, it's taking the 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and it applied these business hours. But let's say you want to change these hours. Okay, so you tap on, let's say, any of one of these. I selected Monday. And what I can do is showing me that for Monday, the 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. time is applied. I saw that. Now I want to change the time hours of all my weekdays. So first thing you have to do, select all the days for which you want to change or update the time hours. Now this is the time hours which has been applied to these all weekdays. So what I'll do is I'll delete this. Now the system doesn't have any time hours, and I can tap on the plus button and give it a new time hours. So let's say my business opens, instead of 9, it's going to open 10 a.m. and it actually closes at done. Tap OK, and it automatically converts that into 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. So this is a new piece of information. All weekdays I want to apply this time. So you're okay with that? Then just tap OK. Back button. So now tap on next to go to the step 3 of the setup process. The step 3 is about the build template that you want for your organization. So by default, we have a template identity called double line. So if you tap on double line, it will open up all the other options that we have available. There are certain double line means that every sale will show up in 2 lines. Received on the single line will be a format where the entire sale will be shown in a single line. So the data has to be formatted or presented in such a way that it actually presented in 1 line as every sale item. And the invoice letterhead is basically if you're, let's say, an organization where you want to send invoices from B2B, which tend to be not typical bills, but they tend to be on the A4 paper, and if you want to print those kind of invoices, then you should select the letter. Next thing is the notes that you want to show up on your bill temp. So let's say here sale invoice header. If you want to, it's by default is invoice, but let's say if you want to sales bill, you can do that. On the return bill, we can say return bill. Anything else you want to put on the header? Maybe we say welcome to Cafeo. You could do that. So it will show up on the template on the invoice that you generate. And the footer also, if you like, you can change it. By default, it's called thank you. But of course, you can highlight and you can type up something. But in this example, we'll just keep it. Actually, it looks like I deleted it. So thank you. I think that's good for us. And this is if you want to scribble some notes and you want them to show, you can select this option. But if you don't, just keep it. You don't want your notes to be shown there. So that's an option that you can turn on and off. So this is it for the next step. We click on the next button to go to the fourth and the final step. Okay, guys. So the last and the fourth step is to set up the taxes. So here I would like to highlight that what you're doing is creating a master file for all the potential taxes that could apply to your business. You're not actually telling the system, you're not actually telling that these are all the taxes that will go or apply. You're just creating this master file. So any taxes that you think you potentially will be used in a system like say service tax or sales tax or VAT as is used in some of the countries, you can define them here. And when you're actually creating a catalog, this master list will pop up there, and you have an option to select the right text that goes with the right kind of item. So Rista is a very sophisticated system and it's been very flexible when it comes to taxes. In Rista, you can pretty much define taxes at each item level. And we will discuss more details on this when we set up the catalog. But for now, let's just create your taxes. So tap on the plus button, and we're going to create our sales tax. That's the name of the tax that we apply. Whatever you type here, you can it will show up again your invoice. Another thing I want you to remember is that you can always modify the name and the percentage of these taxes. So let's say if you don't know right now your tax is whether it's 5.5 or 5.6%, just create it for now and you can always modify it later. Let's say service tax, so we're going to apply another one and we will put that to about I believe some countries apply that to about 5.6%. I'm going to create that. See, I'm not completely sure, but I'll change it later. Third, some of the British and other countries, they have a VAT, goes up to 14.5%. So we're going to create that too. So if they feel good. So I believe these are most of the taxes that are applicable in this area, and I can always pick it again. So that's pretty much it. Now you type on finish button to complete the setup. The initial setup has been completed. Now you're ready to start the catalog setup, and that part we will discuss in a separate session called catalog setup, and I'll be talking to you there. Thank you guys. Have a great day.